For my oral presentation, I chose the second topic, which is there is evidence to suggest that parenting styles, e.g. authoritarian or authoritative, are associated with academic achievement, and does this relationship vary across cultures? The primary reasons I chose this topic were firstly, this sounded like a really interesting topic to explore, particularly the relationship between parenting styles and how this impacted and impacts on a child's development. Secondly, I'd previously heard and learnt a little bit about how parenting styles differ across ethnic groups and different cultures, but was interested to see how the parenting styles, with particular relevance to academic achievement, was changed and manipulated across these cultures. Researching this topic was a bit interesting because although much of the research had gone before it was surrounding the issues of academic achievement and parenting styles, a lot of it had been directed towards the child's interpretation or perspective of what the parenting style was. This is insightful, except it means that we're not directly observing the parenting styles of the parents, but we're analysing the interpretation and perspective of it from the child's point of view. This is not necessarily a major setback, but it does somewhat impact on the validity and reliability of the results. We should start by understanding what exactly authoritarian and authoritative parenting styles are. Authoritarian. This particular style of parenting tends to lead towards an almost dictator approach to parenting, in that children are often shown little affection, have little opportunity for exploration and free play, and often receive punishment when they don't respond to their parents' demands. This is interesting when we consider the authoritative parenting style, because this tries to blend both the permissive, which is expressed by lenient, showered in affection, less disciplined sort of a style, with that of the authoritative, or the authoritarian, should I say. So this sort of blends into a style where the parents try to be supportive, yet defining clear and firm boundaries. Much of what we know today surrounding these styles of parenting can be attributed to many researchers and psychologists, but the key individual was Diana Baumrind and her observations of the middle-class Caucasian families. The research I want to present today was conducted by Wei-Wen Chen and was published on November 13th, 2014. The study was conducted in order to examine the relationships between perceived parenting styles and goal orientations, but also academic achievement, and this was done amongst a primarily Chinese ethnicity. Chen wanted to explore whether students' perceptions of their parents' parenting style could contribute to their academic achievement by facilitating different goal orientations. For this study, a participant group of 339 was selected, consisting of an all-Chinese ethnicity and background. There was an approximate 2-to-1 ratio of females to males, with 215 females and 124 males in the study. Primarily, this was not due to Chen wanting more females in the study, but a gender imbalance in the education faculties of the two major universities that participants were pulled from. It is interesting to note that the average age of the participants was 20.5 years old though. It was hypothesized that parenting styles, specifically authoritarian and authoritative, would have a positive relationship with academic achievement due to the relations between goal achievement and the parenting styles. How Chen went about this study was very interesting in that primarily he based the research on questionnaires, such that the participants were asked to fill out a series of questionnaires relating to parenting styles and goals. First, participants were asked to complete a questionnaire designed as a subscale of the Parental Authority Questionnaire, developed by Burry in 1991. This was done in an effort to test parenting styles. The questionnaire contained 10 statements relating to authoritarian and authoritative parenting styles, that is, 10 for each. Participants were asked to indicate their validation of each statement on a 5-point Likert scale, that is ranging from a 1, strongly disagree, to a 5, which is strongly agree. Such examples of statements included: as I was growing up, my parents gave me clear direction for my behaviours and activities, but they were also understanding when I disagreed with them. As I was growing up, my parents let me know what behaviour they expected of me, and if I didn't meet those expectations, they punished me. As you can tell, and C. These were demonstrating authoritative and authoritarian parenting styles respectively. The next questionnaire, though, was very similar in that it was adapted off Elliott and Church's 1997 Achievement Goal Scale. This again was based on a Likert scale, except this time using a 6-point scale to test for 3 major categories of goal orientations, with 6 items for each orientation. Items ranged from, I hope to have gained a broader and deeper knowledge when I'm done with this class, testing mastery goals. It is important for me to do better than other students, testing performance approach goals. And I just want to avoid doing poorly in this class, which was obviously testing performance avoidance goals. Now, in order to test academic achievement, Chen simply adopted participants' grade point average, which was used as an academic performance benchmark across all studies, across all institutions in Hong Kong. Now, GPAs ranged from a 0 to 4, 4 being the highest, 0 being the lowest. Now, the results from this study were very interesting in that they showed the relationship between how the participants' perceptions and ideas surrounding their parents' parenting styles directly shaped goal orientations and hence impacted on their academic achievement. Ironically, perceived authoritative parenting styles were more closely linked to mastery goals than that of authoritarian parenting styles. This suggests that authoritative parenting styles were more closely related in a positive manner to academic achievement, that is, or academic achievement. On the other hand, it was found that perceived authoritarian parenting styles were connected to the participants' academic achievement, both positively and negatively, by the facilitation of performance approach and avoidance goals. It was found that, yes, authoritarian parenting styles could promote obedience and absolute conformity, resulting in the students trying harder to prove their abilities against others to keep up with their higher parental expectations. But, on the other hand, this could also result in students' main motivation being that of not making mistakes or falling short of their parents' expectations. This is a more passive goal whilst learning, for if they perceive the parenting style as more punitive, disciplinary, or oppressive, this was generally the case. Overall, the study found that both parenting styles can promote positive academic achievement, but authoritarian styles have a tendency to negatively impact on the student's academic performance. One major limitation of this study was the manner in which parenting styles were tested, in that they were not first-hand, they were perceived parenting styles. What was being tested was the students' perceptions of their parents' parenting style, which could on one hand lead to an over-exaggeration of the style. How one could combat this limitation is interesting, because to directly observe the parenting styles would be a lengthy and time-consuming process, probably best served as a longitudinal study, although this would raise some ethical issues around privacy of the families of the participants. Another major limitation of this study was its ability to be applied to other cultures and demographics. This was a single culture study, in that only those of Chinese ethnicity and background were tested. Despite this, other research across different cultures has found both supportive and unsupportive evidence towards the relationship between authoritative and authoritarian parenting styles. In summation, this paper is most relevant to the topic because it tests how perceived parenting styles directly impact either positively or negatively on academic performance. Though, for the findings of this research to be applied and applicable to other cultures and demographics, it cannot stand alone as the sole piece of research. But when coupled with other research, such as Akike Watabe and David R. Hibbard's research into the influence of authoritarian and authoritative parenting of children's academic achievement motivation, a comparison between the United States and Japan, for example, it can be generalized to other cultures and demographics. Despite this, this piece of research does give us great insight into the style and degree of which our parenting styles impact our children, specifically their academic achievement, and if applied correctly, can help us to more effectively support, challenge, and grow our children throughout their education.